And this be from Cash, not from YouTube.
I'm in love with you, girl, and I do anything for you to know. Oh, take a shot.
I'm here to give you guys my secrets. I feel like the first thing that you need to do is make sure that your skin is prepped. Make sure, listen, I do not have flawless skin. I have hyperpigmentation, I have acne, and my skin tone is not very even. Easy enough. This is literally one of my favorite chapsticks that I've ever gotten, and it's from a dental office. Yeah, and I also have a Vaseline one that I like to use. I suggest you use that. For my base, I like to use the Hyaluronic Acid by The Ordinary, and then I also just use shea butter on my face. Because those two technically don't mix, like water and oil don't necessarily mix, you have to use a little bit of hyaluronic acid, and then you can use more shea butter. We're going to go in with a primer. I use the Ulta Beauty Hydrating Face Primer, and the reason why I use a hydrating primer is because I feel like, because I have the skin issues that I have, it's best if your face is able to be super duper hydrated. That way you don't even notice those issues. So my brows currently are, I just plucked them like right before the video. I was like, nah, let me get myself right. So normally what I do is I go in with a brow pencil from the beauty supply store. You can go to any beauty supply store and get you a brow pencil. I promise they all work about the same. This is dark brown, so I don't like black because I feel like it's too dark. And I can't use brown because that's too light, of course. So this dark brown is perfect for me. My natural brows are pretty like thick themselves. It's so crazy how I have you guys on this side, like, just side note, but like I have you guys on this side, but this is my good side. This is not my good side, but we're gonna see whether I like it or not. Hopefully I do. After I do that, I sometimes like to go underneath with my Nars. Now this is the mini size, and the reason why I like this is because, for one, I don't use this one often, and I use this color in the beginning. Then I go in with my tan walnut, the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer. I use literally the same, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, same 5 brushes all the time. You really don't need the most expensive things to do your makeup. You really don't. We're gonna let that sit for a second because I'm going to go and spot conceal. I do this because I don't use foundation over my whole face. The color that I used in the LA Girl Pro Conceal was the shade Fawn. This shade is darker than me. Well, I should say it's more orange than my skin tone. That helps to remove the dark spots. That's my main concern when I do that. But other than that, like I wouldn't use this shade on a regular, because this is the Real Techniques 308 brush, and this is the Real Techniques 313. Those are the brushes that I use. I let that sit for a little bit. I'll go in and use a patting motion with my brush, and you see that? Like, do you see that? How that just, see? And I promise I didn't use a lot of concealer. You watched me put it on. You saw how much was coming out of that. It was not a lot of concealer at all. So that really just gives me like a fresh flat base. Then I go over it with a big brush. So now I'm gonna do my highlight and contour. This is the shade Medium Sand. I focus that in the very inner corner of my eye because it's the brightest shade. And I put it right along my nose. This is for when I go outside. So sometimes I do not want this super bright like look. Sometimes I do not. Sometimes I just want something simple. So that's Medium Sand, but this is Tan Walnut. I really don't know what my undertone is. I think like it's warm, but sometimes it's cool, and I can wear silver and I don't look washed out. So I feel like I'm more neutral. I also use the Tan Walnut right on my chin and right here. Finally, to end it off, I use this concealer, the Nars concealer. I don't think I told you guys the shade. This is caramel, or caramel, however you say it. And I put that right on the outer corner. Now, this is literally like a shade in between the two of them. So I'm gonna let that sit a little bit underneath my eyes. But on the other parts, I'm going to blend that out. I'm gonna take that shadow brush that I always use, wipe it off a little bit, and then I just go on the top here and I pat, pat, pat. Now the thing about, because it's such a bright color, it's not gonna fully really blend in that well. And right now I'm gonna look a little crazy, but I'm gonna show you guys how I change that. This is my Real Techniques Beauty Blender. It's dirty, but right, I use it while it's dry. I don't know what made me do this one day, but I did this and really never stopped. I use it while it's dry, and I just go ahead and we blend it out. I might turn that light on so that you guys can see me better, because the sun is about to go down, and I was really trying for y'all, but it looks like the sun is ready to leave. Okay, so I do that, and then you're gonna go underneath your eyes. You wanna start with the lightest shade and then go outwards. Okay, so this is my highlight blended out for the most part. Now I have to go on my contour. I use this shade, Rich Chocolate. Now Rich Chocolate is what gives me that, literally it is what it says. It is, I'm gonna put my hair back to do this. I go in with this brush. This is definitely my mom's, and I used it one day and was like, yeah, thanks. Can I have this? Yep, thank you. I focused that right on top of that cheekbone. I don't move it anywhere else. I don't place it anywhere else. You don't want to do that because it might remove the highlight if you go any further inwards. And if you go outwards, it's gonna make your face look bigger. Now we're gonna go around my face, right around here, go over my eyes. I hope you guys can see me. I don't want you guys to not be able to see me, so I changed that. This is me right now. Now I'm going to contour my nose and go up into my eye. I'm gonna show you guys how I do that. I normally use foundation shade to do this. I go right underneath my nose and over top of it to give that button effect. Go into my bridge, and I really try to make that look chiseled. I use a very fluffy brush. This is the Real Techniques 4. I'm going to go into the bathroom so that you guys can see it in a less yellow light. Whatever is all on here off, and from my highlight, I'm just gonna blend upwards. I feel like this is how you get the most seamless, like, blend this out. So we're gonna tap. The only time I don't tap is when I'm trying to move the product around. Other than that, I am tapping. Now I'm also gonna go in on those sharp corners and really give them a nice tap. This is normally the colored light that I use when I'm doing my makeup. Lighting that you do your makeup in does have an effect with how you visualize it, but I'm saying, like, this might make it easier now for me to be able to do it and it still come out okay. Now I'm going to apply blush. If you already have a liquid blush, then use a liquid blush. I do not, and I just got into the trend, so don't come for me. But this is a lipstick, and girls used to do this back in the day, so don't even say nothing. But this is the shade Flaunt, and this is the NYX Lingerie XXL. I use about 3 dots on my cheeks, and the reason why I do this, I did notice a difference. Like, I used to not like the idea of it. I was like, why are you doing that? Like, what's the point if you're gonna put blush on top anyway? But this gives you the option, if you want a more dewy look, this gives you the option to not have to put on liquid blush. If you do want a more matte look, which that's normally what I go for when I'm doing my soft glams, but even then I have started to include it into my soft glam regardless of whether I want it dewy or not. And so I pat it in and I bring it inward so that it's almost close to the eye. Love that pink under eye look. And I also bring it up, all the way up, all the way past the cheek. Blend out that concealer with the blush. I set before I bake. So I don't even know if they still make this or not, but this is the Maybelline Dream Matte Powder in the shade medium. This is in the shade medium, beige medium. The reason why I've started using a foundation like pressed powder is one, because I love the way that my Fit Me foundation works, like the pressed powder part. And so I was like, oh, well, if that works and that sets my face wherever I need it to be set at, why can't I just use a foundation like pressed powder? I also put it on my nose. And yeah, so this is how I just set for right now. But I'm gonna go in with my Morphe Banana Rich powder. I should have got it in the shade Banana rather than Banana Rich, because look at how yellow that is. Do you see what I'm talking about? Like it's just too yellow. I'm really caking this on for a thumbnail, so don't mind me too much, hun. To finish this thing up, I like to go in with my contour. This is the Fenty Beauty Mocha Mami. If you haven't heard about it, girl, what are you really doing? I press this in. I don't like to use too much because it's more red, and my undertone I don't think is red. I go ham normally around my forehead, but I don't bring it too far down, if that makes any sense. And then I go right underneath my cheek with it, and boom. Now we're gonna go around the chin. Didn't it all like slowly come together? I know you're probably cringing at the fact that I have this baking powder on my face right now, but trust me, and I hope it's focused, but trust me, y'all, like it gets better. I really wish I knew what this blush was, what it's called. It doesn't have a name at all. Stole this from my mom, but it's literally like a bubblegum pink. This lighting does not do it any type of justice. I'm gonna show it to you in a different lighting. It's beautiful, it's gorgeous. Now my main objective is to wipe all this off. I forgot to go around my nose using this on my lid because one, is my contour shade. So this shade in the Fit Me Poreless foundation, that goes right underneath here. And this may seem a little backward. Why I do this is because it's easy to blend it using what I'm about to show you. So we're gonna go in with this coconut. We're gonna first focus it right below where that was. Now we're good, and now we can do the lips. So I actually don't use this is the Rich Ebony. I don't use a lip pencil or anything. To trace this around my lips, actually I'm gonna use this brush instead because it has that pointed tip, and my lip shape has like a M shape. My lips are a great size, but y'all, overline in they're an even greater size. Like what? I literally just go over my mouth, and I use this NYX the lip cream. This is the shade Tokyo. This is my favorite. This NYX Buttergloss in the shade Fortune Cookie, and I dip into my Fenty bronzer, and I go right underneath this eye with this bronzer. I do go in with mascara if my lashes are not done. haven't been getting them done lately, actually. Once I noticed that my natural lashes were growing, I was like, let me not do that to myself. This is the mascara everybody raves about, the Better Than Sex mascara. I need to get more because I'm running out. Your face literally is not complete without doing your bottom lashes. Dewy, like the Dewy NYX in their setting spray. Also, ooh, ew, I'm tasting it. During this step is when you can go back in and make sure that everything is set and there's no creasing. If you have any creasing, you can get that out now using a nice fluffy brush. Specifically, I would use this one. And yeah, that's really it. So that's it, that's all. Make sure you guys hit the like button and subscribe. I don't know when this will be out, but hopefully before February 14th, because that's Valentine's Day and I'm sure the girls are gonna be getting cute. I'm probably not, but y'all will. And I want y'all to be the baddest. All right, I'm gonna talk to you guys soon. Bye, guys.